He says he knew it would affect the stock market, what he calls the detour or the diversion into Iran, but he decided to do it anyway. The Portuguese Foreign Minister, Paulo Rangel, is with me now. Listening to that, Minister, what do you make of it? I mean, we don't seem to be any closer to receiving well, we've got a ceasefire of sorts, but we don't seem to be any closer to a longer-term agreement. But what did you make of what, besides the abuse he decided to throw at my network and my colleagues, what did you make of what he had to say?
Let me thank you for this invitation and to tell you that there's two main points, two main topics where we really agree. There are two fundamental issues that have to be solved in order to have a long-standing agreement. And one is the elimination of the military nuclear capabilities, and this is, of course, a really red line. And the second one, that is probably even a bit more important for all the world, is the freedom of navigation in the Strait of Hormuz. And so I really agree that without solving these two issues, it's impossible to have a long-standing agreement. I believe that after there is a convergence in these 2 points, it will be possible to have a conversation in other domains, right, like sanctions and others, and also to design a new order for the Gulf region. Because, of course,
the difficulty is, of course, for Europe and the EU, and is that the things that you agree with, on never getting a nuclear weapon, but it was the complete lack of consultation, or indeed methods now being used, that creates the problem for you in terms of how you support the administration's aims and goals, but at the same time, no one's invited you or asked you.
Well, what I have to say in this respect is that now we have this situation and we have to solve the situation that we have. So we don't have to discuss what happened before. This can be something to elaborate on the future. But today we have this conflict, and the conflict has its own terms. And right, so we have to solve it in a very pragmatic way for two reasons. One, because it is true that if the Iran has the capacity to develop nuclear weapons, this will be a major factor of instability and a danger and a threat to all the world, but especially to the region. Right. And second point is that the freedom of navigation is very important, not only for the purpose of, I'd say, stabilizing the energy costs. Now we see, and this is a major concern for the African continent, for instance, the issue of food security. And so we should look at the conflict now as it is and try to, within the framework that we have now, try to have the best solution possible. And this is something that I think that is very important.
Can I just finally ask you, you're in New York, of course, and there was the vote at the UN. And you and Austria are taking the European regional seats, in a sense. What is it you expect to bring? What do you think Portugal does bring to the UN or will bring to the Security Council in the future as the deliberations?
Well, I have to say that for us this is, I'd say, a huge victory in terms of international diplomacy because it's our fourth time in the Security Council. But this time we won at the first round and with the best result of all the candidates. And so this is for us something that is very special. But at the same time, our project is naturally to defend the multilateralism that is very important, the multilateral order, the UN Charter, but in this respect, to have, this probably could be a motto, not to have first and second tier conflicts. What we see today is that the Gulf conflict, the Israelo-Palestinian, Lebanon and Ukraine, they are very much on the spot. But if you look at Sudan, or Eastern Congo, or Haiti, or Myanmar, this is a bit overshadowed. And so for a country like Portugal, that is a middle-sized country, that has a huge tradition of diplomatic relations with all the countries of the world, as this vote has shown, naturally we want to grant to every country that there are not humanitarian crises of first tier, of first class, and humanitarian crises of second class. This will be, for sure, one of the lines that we are going to take in our presence in the Security Council.
Minister, I'm grateful. Thank you.